Hey everybody, it's Johnny Flyer, and man, I have got some exciting news. So, came across not quite an estate sale, but a family who was trying to move away from trains. They had grandchildren and great-grandchildren who were not very interested in trains, unfortunately, and were looking to sell. And so, had a chance to meet up with this couple. They were a very nice couple, and honestly, I think that's kind of one of the best parts about this hobby is learning about the people who collect them and being respectful of the fact that these engines oftentimes are heirloom items and handed down from family to family or from grandparent to grandkid or parent to parent, and so I try to be respectful of that fact when I'm working on these, and try not to tear them apart and turn them into parts engines, because I just think there's some connections to these, and it probably has something to do with the fact that my first one of these came from my grandfather. And there's a video on that if you want to go check it out. So anyway, just to kind of run down what's here, this is only the engines. This also came with about 22 rolling stock pieces, a bunch of transformers, and some other things. So good little deal, and looks like a lot of fun to work on these. I'm going to start working through each one of these in sequence. But first thing I'm going to do is I got to clear out some of the old stuff too. So I got to work through all that because this was not an inexpensive hobby, and it does need to pay for itself. So most of these are going to get refurbished, or at least worked on to make sure that they run well. And I'm going to try and find a family that will buy them and treat them with respect and take care of them and continue to run them for years to come. So just to kind of run through what's here, some really cool engines. So I'll start at the far side here. This is a GP7 engine. This one was great. I put it on the test track, and it started right up. Did some minor cleanup, and it's ready to go. Obviously some cosmetic damage, a little bit of dust and a little bit of wear, but some of the decals are worn off. The other side looks just a little better, but I don't have a whole lot of room here on this particular table, and I'm sorry for this table, but in trying to inventory all this, I quickly ran out of room. So here we have the 307, which has a smoke unit in it, and this one hasn't had a chance to get tested yet, but looks like all the parts and pieces are there. It is wired directly to the engine for some odd reason, and I don't know why, but we'll figure that out later. Probably do some repairs on that. This is a 356 silver bullet, which has a lot of playware on it, but it did fire up at least a little bit and tried to run when I put it on the test table. So sounded like the E unit wants to turn, sounded like it wants to go, but this will get a full tear down and probably a paint job too. I don't know. We'll see what we do with that. This is a Santa Fe. This is the 360 and 364, I believe, with dummy unit back here. And the dummy unit I haven't taken apart to make sure that the speaker looks in good shape. But all in all, this was kept in a garage and looks pretty good. Obviously, it's missing the horn up here and this plastic piece back here. I'm not sure what that is or was on the Elko diesel. I'm just calling it the antenna because that's what I'm calling it. So anyway, moving on to some of the even neater engines. So this is really, really cool. This is a 322 smoke and tender. This is about 1946, 47 is when they made this one. So really good shape. I looked underneath it. I just don't have the ability to pick it up and show you right now. Each one of these is hopefully going to get its own video if I have the time to do it. But this one's really nice. I'm contemplating holding on to this one because it's just a really nice looking engine. And it's kind of rare. Maybe even the silver bullet too, although depending on the amount of work that goes into it. This is a 312 here, and it is also a smoke and tender, and will need a little bit of work and some wiring, but this one hopefully will come right back up. I'm not going to hold on to this. I have a 312 in boxed set condition, so brand new condition coming to me. So this one will get sold to hopefully a family that will love it and treat it with respect. So anyway, that's it for now. Unfortunately, didn't see the kits that came with most of these, or sets rather. So most of these are incomplete, set-wise. But as engines go, they're in really good shape. All require a little bit of cleanup and some work, so depending on how that goes, hopefully get these wrapped up off the bench and out to families here pretty soon. So we're going to call this the Maryland Project because that's where they were purchased, and hopefully the owners are watching the video and at least getting an idea of the type of maintenance that I do, and just want to let them know that I appreciate it, and I'm going to take care of your engines and get it running here. So thanks for watching, everybody, and I'll check in with you later. So first on the block with the Maryland collection here is the 312 Smoke and Tender Pennsylvania Railroad Edition, and as you can see, the markings are correct for this particular model. And nice enough, check this out. The gems, you might be able to see it, are still in the tender. And on the front side here, this is actually a first for me. I've never actually come across one of these that had the gems in the front and the back still intact. So really cool. So we're going to tear it all the way down, do a complete takedown, and or tear it down rather, and give it a top to bottom cleaning like we usually do. Try to get this going again. This will be my first attempt on a Smoke and Tender, but it does look like the parts are kind of here. I don't know if that's going to work for us or not. We'll test it out. I have no idea how the bellows is going to look back here. Oftentimes, so I've read, the bellows material tends to wear out kind of fast and needs to be replaced. So I may need to be buying some more bellows material. We shall see. But pretty exciting. I'm looking forward to taking this one apart and seeing how it works. So this is the engine after you've taken the casing off and got it down to at least the base parts. It does look like this one in particular has had somebody else kind of work on it. It may have been a while ago, but certainly not all the parts on here are exactly right for the period, but it is a nice little engine. So as you can see, the tender needs a little bit of cleaning, but for those of you who are kind of curious about how this works, so it appears, just for the layman, because I've only read it in the books so far, that I haven't actually put my hands on one of these. So your bellows here is operated by this engine right here, which in turn turns the worm, turns the crank. This bellows goes poof, 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 and out goes your, oh sorry, no, your smoke goes out through here. This is actually, I believe, a reservoir the smoke fluid goes in. It goes up this tube here, which looks amazingly intact, and that's awesome. And then out your chimney, right there, out your smokestack. The rest of this is kind of standard flyer stuff, just sort of in a slightly different configuration. Obviously, this is the reverse unit, and here's your kind of standard engine. Looks pretty good. So we're going to spray her down just a little bit with a little bit of the electric contact cleaner, just to make sure that she's okay. And I want to do just a quick check and see how she is. Again, sorry folks, I have trouble doing this with two hands. So I'm going to do a quick check, and if it works, I'll record it, and let's just see how it does. And so one of the coolest things about doing this as a hobby is taking 70-year-old trains and making them do this. All right, hold on. So the engine actually is turning very nicely. This has required a little bit of help. Yep, there it goes. Therefore, we just have to clean off the face of the armature there and make sure it's good. But that's so cool. Look at that. It's smoking up really nicely right now too. So couldn't be happy with that at all. After here, see how we do. But all right, well, that's just not going to take a whole lot of extra work. I think what I'll do is I'll open up the bottom of this and just kind of clean out any grease and gunk, re-grease it. I might take off the face of that just to clean off the arm with the face of the plate there. But I mean, this thing obviously is running very well, so to an extent, there's a truth about letting sleeping dogs lie on these engines. So if it's running well and it doesn't get too finicky, I think I just need to kind of let this one this piece right here turn a little bit and just let it make sure it's ready to cooperate. But man, that's a first. I've never actually opened up something like this and had it work so well. So this engine's not going to take a whole lot of work, which is a huge surprise to me. And it is going to take some cosmetic, I think, cleanup. But for the most part, this one's going to be ready to go to a new family here really soon. And I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's it for now, folks. I've got a little bit of restore work to do to this one. I'll give you a final product on it because I think most of you kind of know where it goes from here. But boy, that's exciting. And this was kind of a really neat just experience being able to take open one of these things, because I think they only built these in 46 and 47. So you know, that gives you an idea of what's sitting here on the table. So really cool. I couldn't be happier right now. So thanks for watching, folks, and we'll follow up with another video on this one here pretty shortly.